All right, what's up, guys? It is Sunday evening and time to run through some charts again, get prepped up for the week. So yeah, let's jump into it. Qs finally had a real pullback day on Friday, and we had a huge run after this 10% correction back here in April, and it's just been relentless for the past couple months. And then Friday, we finally got a big sell-off day. We're back below the 10 and 20 day. Futures did just open up a little bit and we're a little bit higher, found some support in these pivots here from last month. So we'll see how it wants to hold up overnight and where we end up. I'd imagine we find some support in the 700 area first if we do end up coming down tomorrow. So we'll see where the futures end up taking us into the open tomorrow. But what this means is once the Qs get a close below the 10 and 20 day, I really pull back on momentum swings and kind of start shifting gears towards leading names that are getting oversold pullbacks and looking for bounces on them. So that's kind of what I'll be shopping this week and taking the pedal off the momentum swings. One of them was Bitcoin. I was watching. We had a major sell-off last week in Bitcoin. It had this nice waterfall look. We are bouncing back today. Unfortunately, I was hoping for a gap down lower because on IBIT here we had this really nice waterfall cascading look, and another gap down coming into money would have set up super well for a bounce play, mean reversion setup. But doesn't look like we're going to get that. Unfortunately, looks like it's already starting to bounce today, Sunday. So we'll see how this plays out overnight as well. Maybe we'll get lucky, get some selling to come in, and we open lower tomorrow to look to play that for a bounce. So that was Bitcoin, just something that was on the radar. And I know some guys bought it on Friday. They're going to be looking good if we bounce back tomorrow with that. Some other names that are starting to look good. This RKLB, if you guys remember, we played this after earnings coming out of this really nice tight consolidation pattern. Had a monster breakout, then had a second leg here, and now we're starting to get a pullback and starting to get to be a deeper pullback. And I want to, if this starts getting closer to the 100 area, I put an alert out here and into this pivot. Definitely on my radar for a bounce play. Ideally it'd be a sharp, fast move like tomorrow, just one big down day into 100. I would 100% be buying that and looking for a bounce play back into the moving averages, and just looking for some kind of mean reversion play. And then if it starts behaving well, we have the SpaceX IPO this week. Maybe this wants to bounce and have a 2 or 3 day move sequence. I'd be willing to hold some overnight for sure if it's holding strong, if I end up getting a position. So that's RKLB. Really good looking chart for pullback buy. Some other ones, IBM was the same one I was watching. We had this really sharp vertical move. It's really hard for stocks to hold a move like this over a course of a week, a little over a week. And so we're getting a sharp pullback. If tomorrow or next day, if we get another down day into like this 270 area, I like that a lot for a bounce as well. I would be buying into that, be right around a big pivot, right into the 20 day, and it would be pretty close to like a 50% retracement of this move here. So that's going to be on my radar this week for sure. I'll throw out a couple alerts and just helps me keep it on my radar. But yeah, so this looks good for an oversold bounce. Big pullback here off highs. And could be a good one to buy in the hole here for a bounce back. Another one, this is a different setup. Just Netflix is starting to get oversold. I like this name longer term. If it starts breaking down below 80, I'm going to start buying it. And I'll buy down into the mid to low 70s too if we see further downside. This will be a different approach, kind of how I approached Microsoft, where I'm just buying into oversold conditions on a big company. And Netflix, over time, this is going to be higher. How long, I don't know. That's why I kind of approach these a little bit differently with the mindset of more of like an investing longer term hold. Once these get oversold, I like shopping these bigger names. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I want to see this down into 80 and lower, where I'd start to be buying into that. And then next I'd be looking into like the mid 70s into this traffic here. from back in February. So that's one I'll be watching. Netflix. So one of the ones, XBI, I actually traded this last week. I bought it here, stopped out, and then it's kind of been chopping away. It, structurally the chart's still fine, but when I buy a breakout, I don't want to see it fail the next day. So I ended up stopping on this day here. But if you kind of look back here, we had a really nice trend move here, and we went sideways for a few months, broke out of that, and now we're going sideways again, but holding above this area consolidation so far. So it closed a little weak on Friday. We'll see how this wants to behave this week. Something that I would consider is an undercut and reclaim of this trend line. If we broke lower, reclaimed it, I would buy some there. Otherwise, I'd be waiting for it to tighten back up and break out above the trend line here for a breakout play. So that's definitely still on my radar. I'm going to actually throw a little alert here in case it breaks below the trend line. So yeah, I'll keep tabs on this week for sure. See how XBI wants to play out. HEMS was another one. Daily chart looks good. We had a very defined trend line. Bought it on this day. Actually trimmed a little bit, like 10%, and then it gave it all back the next day, and failed to hold above the trend line where I cut it off and took the stop. We had the big down day in the markets. I didn't want to be holding it over the weekend and come into Monday with a big gap down. So, and really, when you play these momentum breakouts, you shouldn't see these big rejections. When they go, the good ones, when they go, they don't look back, right? Like you look at RKLB when it broke out, never looked back, went straight up for multiple days. Same with ARM when we were buying this out of the flag, took off, never looked back. So when I'm playing these momentum names, I really don't want to see them come back and fail to hold above the trend lines that I'm buying them out of. So, yeah, that's really kind of the names I have right now on watch. I'm still, some of these semi names I think need a little bit more time or a deeper pull, like ARM, for instance. I like ARM, but it needs a deeper pull. Maybe back into this like 300 area would be really good. Big psychological level. Also had some traffic here before it hit this leg higher. So I'll be watching that back into 300. I think could be a good bounce play if we get a sharp move lower this week in it. Otherwise, what could happen is, we got our first close below the 10-day, had a super big move. If this consolidates for a couple days right under the 10-day, I would take that for a short if we broke down, through this pivot here, Friday's lows, 337.50s call it. So that could set up. I would want to see a couple of days of tighter and consolidation. I wouldn't want to chase it tomorrow through Friday's lows, just because it's such a sharp move over a couple of days. I could see that breaking and then reclaiming and then chopping around. So I would rather wait, especially if we're gapping up tomorrow. Just let this play out a couple of days, see if I can get tighter, and then look for that breakdown lower from there. And then I would be switch gears and look to be buying it into 300 for a bounce play. But yeah, that's, I ran through a bunch of charts. A lot of stuff needs to kind of cool off and, reset. We need some more sideways action, more consolidation patterns, and, kind of let the indices set up again. This is a big move on Friday, huge volume. We have the SpaceX IPO. I don't know how that's going to go. It seems like it's, very oversubscribed, very popular, like, a lot of stuff's going on around it, so we'll see how that sets up for Friday, if that's going to be able to hold those prices, if it's going to rip higher, or if it's going to get sold off. So that will be really interesting coming into Friday. Largest IPO ever. Should be exciting, and we'll be looking to find some ways into trading that for any setups. All right, so that's what I got for you guys. We'll see where we, we're looking to open tomorrow with the futures, any overnight news setting up for us, and see what kind of game plan we can kick off to start the week. All right. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I'll catch you guys in the room tomorrow morning.